Good evening, ladies. Oh boy, we're calling from a garbage disposal over here on Brazil. No, we've got a little sound in on our show right now.
Blue on blue.
Neil Armstrong is with us. Of course, we're also looking for Jason Gregory to come in the door, but
he hadn't texted me, so
it's a very cool, very mild Friday, and of course, if you're going to do work outside, I would wait a little bit on into the day because it is a little bit cool right now, but wonderful weather.
It is. The rains are coming though tonight and tomorrow.
Is that
and then it's supposed to get cold Sunday, Monday.
So I was going to check on that. So if you're going to wring the turkey's neck, it'd be a good time to do it. It'd be cold.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
People don't know anything about wringing a neck. Have you ever wring a chicken's neck?
I have not. I have not personally wrung a chicken's neck, but I have been standing.
Steve, have you ever wrung a chicken's neck?
I have been standing by my Uncle Roscoe in Glenwood, Alabama, when he wrung a chicken's neck, and I was standing there wide-eyed going, "Ooh."
And that was a sad time, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes that turkey had been with the family 4 or 5 years, and when Daddy or Granddaddy had to go out and make sure he had a good turkey for Thanksgiving, it sometimes hurt his heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he'd been around for, he'd been throwing corn out to him every morning.
For a long time.
I didn't know what a turkey was. I knew what a hen was. My mother said, I'm gonna buy a hen and have some vegetables, and that'd be Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
A hen, a big hen. You know
what
what a hen is?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like your regular chicken. It's a bigger chicken.
Right.
It's one you've been fattening up.
On purpose.
Yeah. And that hen been laying eggs for a long time. Say, oh gosh, we're gonna have to take that one this time. And most of the time, though, they try to preserve that one that was giving them eggs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And of course, there were brown eggs, and there were double yolk eggs. Are you familiar with that?
Well, not familiar, but I've heard of all that. Yeah. Not familiar.
Of course, it is.
I'm old city boy, Mike.
It is a big day for the Alabama Independent Schools, and they have their championships right out here at the stadium starting at noon today.
They do. Coach Fountain.
And I'm looking forward to seeing Coach Fountain. And, of course, the first game will pit Southern Academy coming in here to play Chambers Academy, and a good friend of mine coaches at Chambers, Tommy Garrett. I should have got him to come on our show this morning. He grew up here in town, and he's been the offensive coordinator at Chambers for the last 5-6 years. He was head coach several times too, but he's a very good offensive coach.
He is.
I'll tell you something, and we laugh all the time about this. He teaches, on the corner. Sometimes the other team's coaches will say, "He's tackling our guy. He's tackling our guys on the corner."
Yeah.
A lot of young officials are not looking at that. They're looking at the ball, and this guy's tackling the corner, and we laugh about it. But they used to accuse him of that. He's tackling the corner. Let's see how we came out last week in some real close races here. Forrest Lee came in here and just playing around.
What did he do?
And he shot 23 for 6. 23 and 6. And then, of course, Mike is always good. He was 24 and 5. It looks like a tiebreaker, doesn't it?
It does.
The other...
that was you. This is you coming. That was the top to your feet.
Yeah, okay. Larry, this is 23 and 6,
you.
And that was me. You're getting better and better here. All right, 25 and 4.
Me and Mike tied.
And we've got to see how we do on a tiebreaker here. Of course, Jason's score, we got to look at, he did not score high enough to be in the tiebreaker, and this is where we come in here. All right, Neil, there you are. You're 25 and 4.
Yep.
Michael, and of course he'll be coming on in a minute, but he was arguing with me yesterday about how to do a tiebreaker.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, so
how do you do
I didn't want to get in the...
Well, you make up your own rules.
That's right. It's
your show.
That's right. Well, all right, on a tiebreaker, first of all, you got to pick the team that's going to win. You know, let's just say they had Auburn in the tiebreaker. Both of them had Auburn, and the other guy had Georgia, and Bill, you know what I'm saying? To win the game.
If that's
so it don't matter what the score is if he won the game, you know. Let's take a look at this.
Is that why he hadn't called this morning? Y'all were arguing?
Hopefully he'll call in a few minutes. He was going to Biloxi sometime. I don't know when he'll come back. But all right, and so the score in the tiebreaker was he had 38-13. You had
2017.
20, and you were right on it. You were right.
Yeah, but I had the wrong team winning though.
Yeah, that's right. You had the wrong team winning. That's right.
So Mike
wins. You had the wrong team winning. Well, no, I think he took Auburn too.
No, I think he did.
All right, he took
that's
Auburn.
That's you now. No, that's Mike.
That's Mike.
Let's
see. He is 38-13.
Yeah, he took Auburn, so I won. We both took Auburn.
I know it. Yeah, you both took Auburn, but I don't know how that works. It might be because
my total score was closer than his total score.
I know it. That's right. The total score of the game. You're right. Exactly right. And you do win because you were closer. So that is it. And if he wants to argue about it, then well, you're right. It's when you pick a score, I reckon you don't normally. The winner of the game, you had Auburn winning the game.
Right.
And the actual score would have been Georgia winning the game, but
right.
Then at the same time you're looking at the score.
Yeah.
And
then some people throw in there that you can't go over.
Yeah, exactly.
Closest to the total without going over.
And why he had a 38-13
with Auburn's defense.
That does not sound like him.
Auburn and Georgia's defense is real good.
That's right, and that doesn't sound like him. Now I was keeping score, but so it looks like you're gonna win again this week, and going down the stretch, it's gonna be real close. Good morning, you on Today in LA? How you doing?
Morning. How are you?
I won in the tiebreaker. We just made the tiebreaker rules.
You just he won in the tiebreaker, but we argued about this yesterday, and no one argued anymore about it.
I thought we all picked Auburn.
We did, but I was closest on the points.
Even though we had the wrong team winning.
Yeah.
We both had Auburn.
You both had Auburn. In fact, the only other thing you could do is just call it a tie, and go into the next week.
But that's why you like the score then.
I thought I picked the score in the Alabama-Mississippi State game. I picked
38-7. 38-7, but that we were looking at the Auburn Georgia score. Total score. And
I'll just lose 2 straight days. I don't know what's
all right, but let me tell you this: your score. I can't believe it. I had your score being 38-13. That doesn't sound right, does it?
No, I guess Auburn Georgia. I didn't have that score. I had like 24-20.
Yeah, that is 24-20. That was
at the bottom. I see it.
So that makes it a tie, I believe. Let's see.
He had 40. He had 44.
And you had 37. Wait a minute.
37. 39.
37.
39.
That's 20-17. Wait a minute. See, that's 20-17. Yeah.
22 or 20?
20-17. That's
okay.
20-17.
I got a really good trivia question today.
All right, good.
You don't tell it yet.
All right, is it going to be for the Yeti cooler or what?
Yeah, the Yeti cooler.
All right, you got it. All right, we'll use your. It's not going to be impossible to answer now.
I know, it's pretty simple.
And I'd like to get in on that.
You need a Yeti?
Everybody.
Miss Carol using her Yeti.
Well, you know what? Right now it's just looking pretty. She got one of those blue ones, and she's got it looking pretty. Of course, we give away a Yeti cooler every Friday on this show. Compliments of Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram truck on the bypass. Jason, are you up and at him this morning? Call in and
let me see if he takes me.
And he can do it by phone.
Jason just giving up on doing the show. Where you guys?
Let me text him.
Well, and the thing about it, he won. He had just got through winning two, and that did make it tough. But
he can only send one of his great salesmen in to do the
That's right.
one.
That's right. He could, no question about it.
I went by there this week to just sit in his office and shoot the breeze and talk football. And he's got a well-oiled machine up there. Everybody knows what to do, and everybody's in place. It's nice.
They're getting fired
nice
up too. You're exactly right. They're getting fired up and ready to go.
Today, Alabama no longer plans to redshirt Tallulah Tungabaloa, so expect to see a lot of Tallulah against Western Carolina tomorrow.
Oh, really? That would be something. A pure freshman first. Has he played much at all?
No.
He's played in 3 games, I think.
But not much at all, though.
Yeah. That is amazing. That will be something.
I would not be surprised if he plays the whole second half against Western Carolina.
That will be something to see, my friend. No question about it.
How if another Tungabaloa is the star of the Iron Bowl? You never know.
Yeah, no question about it. Of course, we're awaiting Jason Gregory, and if he doesn't show up, we'll do one. He can do one later on at the shop.
He just texted me and said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot it was Friday."
Oh, all right, Jason, that's the best one I've ever heard. Oh, I forgot it was Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. Thank goodness there's a hot cup of coffee.
Yes.
And people starting to decorate their houses, and
some people in my neighborhood too.
Getting Christmas every day, and I love it.
When do you put the trees in everybody's front yard on Crow Hill? Right after Thanksgiving?
No, well, that is generally, but we'll have them out today.
Okay.
We'll have those trees out today. I've already got my trees out.
That is a tradition.
It is.
My wife and I always ride through Crow Hill.
I'm glad. And
want to see the little trees in everybody's front yard.
I tell you, it is pretty, and the secret to it all and what makes it so good is everybody does it. I mean, I think there are 92 houses, maybe 2 houses don't do it, and most of the time they're either...
what are they, atheists?
No, or either people are new to the community or that don't know any better, But it makes for
Grinches.
It makes for a beautiful Christmas, and
let Carol go talk to him.
Yeah, Carol could care less about that. Hey, as far as Christmas, then it's gonna be a lot of fun, and is excited. Anybody can't get excited at Christmas. Bless their hearts. I
know.
tell you.
I ordered a champagne artificial tree for the house, and then we're gonna have a real tree on the porch.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. And and of course you're gonna help everybody down there for Thanksgiving. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna have everybody down for Thanksgiving. Then we're gonna watch the Cowboys and Lions play.
That's awesome. That's tradition.
Tradition, yeah.
And
my wife's a Mississippi State grad, so we'll watch the Egg Bowl that night.
But
I can remember watching Barry Sanders all those years.
Yeah,
that was
no question. And ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade from downtown New York. I've never been to it. I had reservations where it's going to go, and then they had the bombing.
Oh, and messed you up.
The terrorist attack. I remember those.
Terrorist attack, but
I've never been.
That's one of my bucket list things. And,
now, I've been to New York several times. I've never been to the parade.
But I've watched, and of course, my daughter and I used to go to New York almost every year, and we've always found that to be fun. But we've never been to Macy's, where the real Santa Claus.
Well, I've been to Macy's, but not during Christmas.
I told my children for many years that was the real Santa Claus. You need to watch that at Macy's. That's
Speaking of parades, December 2nd, Troy's got their Christmas parade.
That's right, and it's always the first Monday in December, and it's always a big, nice parade, too.
You know, Wally and I came in second place last year. We got beat out by a $30,000 McDonald's float. But we dressed as Christmas Vacation.
Oh, boy.
Chevy Chase and Quaid. And this year is going to be a surprise. Wally and I are going to be in the parade again. And we're not telling anybody what we're going to do, but just come on out December 2nd to the Troy Christmas Parade, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. You going to be filming it again?
I read something on Chevy Chase one time. He comes from a family that's worth about $400 million.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know.
He was born in wealth.
Yeah. I've done the parade for every year that we've done a parade, and that would probably be 35 years. And, of course, hopefully I'll be able to do it again, and look forward to it. I always like a parade.
I tell you, the community looks forward. The ones that can't get out to the parade look so forward to Mike Amos putting on the parade on Troy Cable.
That makes me feel good, and, of course, they will Christmas parade, but we've had a lot lot of them.
A bunch.
And again, the city does it so well, and the competition. You're involved in that a little bit, aren't you?
A little bit.
So yours and Wally's are going to be one of the competitive floats.
Oh, well, we're in the parade. We don't do a float. We do a dramatization and walk through the parade. Last year we got second.
Yeah, if you have not watched their program on Sunday night, you have missed a treat. Y'all do a great job.
Well, I appreciate that,
I
Mike.
love the way you do your commercials and so forth, and you really do a good job. And tune in to you every 6 o'clock every Sunday.
Sports Chat with Neil and Wally, 6 o'clock on Sunday evening.
And,
I appreciate the plug.
Really does a great job, man. Hey, listen, I'm a Troy Cable guy, man. Been a Troy Cable guy for a long time.
Well,
I'm gonna promote anything on Troy Cable.
Well, thank you. We have a lot of fun.
Y'all still not as good as Mac C's Southern Gospel Hour, but y'all are pretty close.
Boy, hey,
He's been doing it a long time.
Mac's
too.
got a loyal viewing audience now. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah, and
Hallsteady shows the top show on Troy Cable now.
Hallsteady's got the ratings. Hallsteady's got the ratings, no question about it. All right, Mike.
Truck talk.
We had a couple of games.
Did you watch the Texans beat the Colts last night in pro football?
No, I
watched
didn't.
a single play.
I was watching some of that, flipping back and forth between Georgia Tech.
And so Houston won the game. Is that right?
20-17.
2017.
They won by 3.
Okay.
It was a push.
Now, there was a college game. Georgia Tech was leading by 2 touchdowns last time I saw. Did they win the game?
Yeah, they did. I forget. I don't know what the final was, but Georgia Tech won.
We got I think we've got a freebie here.
It's won, 3 games this year?
That was their 3rd win. Yeah.
Yeah.
With those option players.
Bring in Jeff Collins from Temple, and, he had some pretty good teams at Temple, and Temple's still pretty good.
Yeah. You know, he's done a great job. Did Temple win?
They did. They won last weekend.
No, they played the night last night, didn't they? Or are they going to play Saturday?
There was only one game last night.
Are they
That
going to
was
play
Georgia
Saturday?
Tech played last
Okay.
night.
Well, we're ready, and of course, hope, ladies and gentlemen, you've got your pens and pencils ready. And first of all, you folks.
28-26. NC State, man, they're really awful this year.
Well,
I know it's a shame too. They've had a good program for a long time. I would like to say this. The Auburn Tigers are getting ready for a big football game. 11 o'clock, Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. It's Auburn and the Sanford Bulldogs.
That's right.
Should be an exciting contest.
Yeah.
If you want to see Auburn play football, go to this game. They're handing them out pretty much at the door. You'll be able to find
favorite.
You'll be able to find a ticket to this game easy.
You can actually trip over a ticket walking into the stadium.
You might could, and I'm not knocking Sanford. They're a good 1AA program, but why wouldn't they want to play Troy? How many? Hey, not only would Troy give them a great competition, they would make money on Troy.
Yeah, and now I see in a couple of years where South Alabama's going up there to play them.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm
They're
serious.
going to play South Alabama and not play Troy.
That's correct.
I tell you what, somebody needs to do something. I think they might have to go to the legislature. I mean, that's what a lot of these schools in Louisiana did.
Did they?
And LSU had to play all of them.
What do you do as an Auburn fan right now? I've been talking to a lot of different Auburn friends of mine, and a lot of people are saying, do you want Auburn to win the Iron Bowl and beat Alabama because then you have Malzahn again next year, or do you want to lose to Alabama and then you get rid of Malzahn and get a new coach? I mean, what do you think, Neil? You're an Auburn fan.
Well, you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. Because, the question you ask yourself is, who out there is there to hire right now that would come to Auburn that's better than Malzahn?
That's right. Well,
Stoops ain't going. Stoops is not coming.
Well, and another thing,
P.J. Fleck is not coming. He just signed an extension.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this.
What about Urban Meyer? You don't think Urban Meyer wants to go against Saban?
No.
But let me tell you this.
Urban Meyer is going to USC or nowhere. Or
And
Notre
who
Dame.
wants to buy this guy
Chip
out?
Kelly, if Kelly leaves Notre Dame and goes to Florida State, Urban Meyer might take Notre Dame job, but not Auburn.
What is the buyout? I mean, Auburn. Listen, they're not. They can't afford to pay that.
Why do these schools?
$32 million last year, so this year it'd be down to $25 million.
I mean, who wants to pay this guy $25 million to leave?
Jimmy Rain is a billionaire.
Well, yeah, but Jimmy's got enough sense not to buy that coach out.
Jimmy, let me tell you something. Sexton is
Yeah,
a genius
the guru
for putting these buyouts in these contracts. I'm gonna tell you, these athletic departments are stupid for signing the bottom line on that.
Yeah, and I don't think he wants to. I'll give you a little history about him.
If you're gonna hire a coach, why you need a buyout?
Yeah,
just give me a salary.
Let me give you a brief history of him. He was a high school coach in Arkansas, located right outside of Fayetteville, and he had Springville, Arkansas, and he had a quarterback named Mitch Mustang, who was there was a big battle over Oklahoma, and all of them were trying to get Mitch Mustang. Well, somehow the folks at Arkansas talked Malzahn into getting Mitch Mustang to go to Arkansas. And I think the coach at the time was one of my favorite guys, Mike.
Houston Nutt?
Houston Nutt. I think it was Houston Nutt. Well, Malzahn worded out that he could come in there and coach too. So he went with the package. It was a package of Mitch Mustang and Malzahn to come to Arkansas. Well, guess what? The two coaches didn't really get along that well.
Right.
But Mustang won the first eight games of the year. Mustang won the first 8 games, and he quits the football team and moves out to California. Well, there's Malzahn all right. He's no longer needed at Arkansas.
No longer needed.
So they find a way to get rid of him. And I want to say he went to Tulsa, Mike. Did he go to Tulsa?
Yeah, he went to Tulsa. He was offense coordinator under Shane Graham.
Yeah, so he went to Tulsa, and then he ended up at Arkansas State. You remember that?
No, he ended up
Tulane.
No, at Auburn. All right, he went to Auburn.
Went to Auburn as offense coordinator, and then when they won the national championship, he got the Arkansas State job.
As the head coach.
At the Arkansas State. Yeah.
When was he at Tulane?
I don't think he was at Tulane. I think, I tell you,
Rich
Rodriguez was at Tulane.
Okay.
But I don't think Malzahn was at it. But,
it was
all right, so here we go. He's back.
Malzahn took over for Hugh Freeze at Arkansas State.
That's right. And a lot of coaches were going to Arkansas State. And, in fact, I saw him before the Troy game and talked to him for a long time. And he's a real nice guy. But, all right, so there's the situation. And then Auburn needs a football coach. And he gets the head coaching job because they liked him, I reckon, when he was there.
He was offense coordinator on the national championship team.
Exactly. So now you know the rest of the story. That was the history, though, of Malzahn.
Yeah.
It all started with he had a great player that they couldn't get him unless they brought Malzahn with him, or he would have never probably got the opportunity to coach like that.
Package recruiting deal.
Yeah. There were some other teams. Arkansas State had 4 or 5 guys at one time that went on.
They had Brian Hartson, the
Boise State.
As well.
Yeah, sure did. And then they had Hugh Freeze. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a little story we wanted to pass on.
Hugh Freeze has got
Liberty
bowl eligible. I don't know if they'll get in a bowl, but he's got them eligible.
Well, isn't that amazing?
From a hospital bed.
And with a quarterback they call Buckshot. Buckshot. Can you believe that Buckshot beat us last year?
Yeah.
I want to welcome these 6 communities to Troy, Alabama today. And the Alabama Independent Schools Championships start today at noon. Ladies and gentlemen, from Southern Academy, Greensboro, Alabama, comes Southern Academy to face Chambers from Lafayette, Alabama, which is just north of Auburn. That's a noon game. Chambers is the defending state champion in that classification. And then at 3:30, Tauga Academy of Prattville goes up against the Scambia Academy of Canoe, Alabama, or Atmore, Alabama. And this is one of our very good friends, head coach at Tauga, has won 2, maybe 3 state championships, Mike. Is that right?
3 out of the last 4, I think.
You talking about Hugh Fountain?
Yeah, Hugh Fountain. And he'll have a lot of people there at this game just to support him. And, of course, he is one great guy. And are you Methodist?
No, sir, I'm not.
You're not?
St. Mark's Episcopal.
You're Episcopalian. All right, Mike's Episcopalian. Shake his hand.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, the walk to Emmaus is something in the Catholic Church that's real sacred. and he's walked to Emmaus with as many people as anybody I know. This kind of guy, not just a football coach, he's a great layman.
When he was let go here as a football coach, he didn't burn any bridges. Everybody loved him.
Oh yeah, and they still do. And he has beaten this team before. Tonga is coached by Bobby.
Watson.
Bobby.
No,
Bobby Carr.
Bobby Carr, who has just been phenomenal as a coach. He was at in Wetumpka, and he coached at the team that won 80-something straight games, Mike.
Coached at Edgewood.
At Edgewood Academy in Wetumpka, won something like 80 straight games. And he leaves Edgewood Academy, and he goes to Otago, and he took his son with him, who's a real good, great, this has been 3 or 4 years ago, who's an outstanding quarterback, and left then Edgewood becomes just ordinary.
Yeah, ordinary.
And they're getting better this year, but they were just pretty much ordinary at that, and all the power went to Otago. Well, I can remember 2 years ago, Escambia Academy knocked them off their pedestal and won the game right here in Troy. Do you remember that?
I do. Coach Fountain he was a big underdog and won
big. And I'm sure if you asked him, and it would have tickled me if he was by a phone and would call in, that had to be a very big victory in his career.
It was.
And of course, he won several.
So where his tie and cap and khakis on the sidelines? He was always a tie guy.
Yeah, that's right. He was, and he coached at Charles Henson for 15 years. That's a long time.
It was.
You don't see many coaches wearing ties.
Nah, he's a great guy and a great person to coach your son, I promise you. This show is brought to you by Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy, and we appreciate Jason and all the great folks and their dealing. In fact, nobody beats a Premier deal, and you can drop by there today and buy you a new one. I've got a Cherokee, Jeep Cherokee that is wonderful. It's probably as good a driving vehicle as I've ever owned. And I bought it right there from Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram trucks.
Who would be the all-time winningest coach in Charles Henderson history? Is it Fountain? I mean, who else has been there over 50 years?
Probably Fountain. He's probably been there longer than anybody.
I mean, you go back in Troy days longer than anybody else.
Yeah.
Who else coached at
Sonny Queen coached in the 50s, in the mid-50s to the early 60s. He coached about 7 or 8 years. Jim Tompkins was there for 6 or 7 years, and so was Frank Sadler. But nobody has coached there. Jeff Coat would be close. Jeff Coat would be very close. But I don't think he coached 15 years
I know it.
How long did he coach the first stint? How long did he coach? I know he coached when I was there, the second stint.
I know in 80 he was 13-0.
That's right. He won the state championship, Troy's only state championship.
Several teams that won at least 8 or 9 games, I would think.
Yeah, he went to you remember, his teams always went to the playoffs, but they had to go to Mobile and play Vigar or Blunt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was or St. Paul. I mean, these were some of the best teams in the state of Alabama, and that was our first round games. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And Troy, Charles Henson back then, because those guys were so good, they didn't get the home field advantage a lot of the times, you know. But this guy had won some great games, and he had been a wonderful example for our young people.
The actual offense coordinator on the show the day of the game, he didn't want to come back and they won the state championship. I thought that brought him luck.
Who was that?
Tommy Garrett was on the
show. Yeah, he was on the show, yeah. That's right. And Tommy, if you're out there, come by and see us. Of course, Tommy's also a very good golfer, Mike. He was outstanding. Actually played on Troy University's golf team. Let's get started. Brought to you by Premier Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. Boy, isn't that Ram truck a good-looking truck?
It is a good-looking truck.
I love the chrome.
I do, too.
And I love the black, and I also love the silver and chrome.
I do, too.
It's a beautiful truck, no question about it. Let's get started, Mike. Let's get started. Arrington, the Purple Cats have won 10 straight, and they travel to Leroy. Now, there are a few real nightmares when somebody tells you got to play. You've got to go to Leroy. And first of all, you got to find out how to get to Leroy. Yeah. And how many stop lights you got to take before you get to the stadium. Is it an actual community of Leroy, or is it just open highway?
I don't know. I've never been to Leroy High School.
Well, Leroy, I don't know if it's named after Leroy Jordan or not. Of course, Leroy was from right up the road there.
Where exactly is Leroy? I've never been either.
It's South Alabama. Somebody is out there that that can tell us about Leroy. We'd love to find out.
Is it near Bruton or Mobile?
I think it's in Washington County.
Yeah, it's Washington County. Down near
Chatham.
Chatham, yeah. You know what great Troy linebacker was from Chatham,
Chatham down there.
What great Troy linebacker was from Chatham, Troy University linebacker. Well, he was on the national championship team. His daddy was a doctor.
What year, 84, 87?
Yeah, Brian.
You talking about Hubbard?
Hubbard, yes. You remember Brian Hubbard?
I remember the name.
Yeah, he played on the national championship team in 1986. Okay, let's get...
Number 47.
You're right. We went to all those games back then and had a lot of fun. Okay, Aaron...
I used to ride with the cheerleaders. I remember at the games when you were calling the radio games years ago.
Oh yeah, no question about it. Now, let's don't get into talking about riding the cheerleaders because Armstrong here has drove the bus many times.
Many times.
Did you ever have a flat tire in the middle of nowhere?
Thank goodness I didn't.
What, Mike?
With the Troy State cheerleaders to game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. No question about it. Let's get started. Arrington at Leroy. Leroy coming off of a big victory over Goshen. They've got that great running back everybody's been talking about.
Yeah, he's just a junior.
But these are the Purple Cats, my friend. These are the Arrington Purple Cats. A lot of people say Leroy just dominates, but they haven't played Arrington yet. I'm going to take the Purple Cats to win the game.
I love Arrington. I want Chuck Dunn. I love that whole Kilcrease crew down there, and Mike and Daddy over here at Napa. But I don't know. We picking to win. That's a long trip to Washington County, and playing them down there. Something tells me Arrington's gonna get upset tonight. I'm gonna take Leroy.
Well, Leroy is a fine program, no question about it. And,
but with my heart, I'm pulling for Arrington.
Yeah, and we'll like to say this that. Charles Simpson High School has just hired a new baseball coach, and guess where he comes from?
Well, he comes
from Lowndes Academy, I think.
No, but where else does he come from?
Brubaker.
No,
he coached a little bit of Sweetwater, you said.
Sweetwater. He comes from Sweetwater, and won some state championships there. Okay, everybody I took Arrington, and what did you take, Mike?
It's hard for me to go against Arrington. I mean, there's something that's definitely clicking when you win 10 in a row. Of course, I know Steven and know Chuck and respect Chuck. Chuck's a guy that needs to be a head coach somewhere after this season. He's a guy that, has coached in college, coached, everywhere. I mean, he's a guy that would be a great, builder of a program. So I hope that he can get a job somewhere close in the area as well. But I'm going to go with Arrington.
All right, Mike takes Arrington, and okay, so you're off to a pretty good start here, Brother Armstrong. G.W. Long at Reeltown, and G.W. Long coming off a big victory over Luverne. That surprised me.
Yeah, it did, and it surprised me so much that there's no way I could pick against them tonight. They've also won 10 in a row, and I'll take the Rebels, G.W. Long.
I wonder, they're right next.
Long got beat by Arrington not too long ago.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They right there together, and they played each other just recently.
Right.
But these are in two different classifications, Mike. Is that right? Or are they 2A? Both of them 2A. Both of them are 2A. So if they win, they'll play each other probably next week. Wouldn't you think?
That's right.
I've never seen so many good 2A programs within about 45 minutes.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. The 2A football is as strong here as anywhere.
It is.
But the only problem with G.W. Long, they got to go to Reeltown.
That's true.
Reeltown, home of.
I've been hearing that Highland Home wants to have everybody play in a parking lot.
Oh, that's a
Who the real
shame.
champion is.
I know it. That's a shame what happened to them. G.W. Long, of course, is in Skipperville, in Reeltown, coached by, I don't know if Jackie O'Neill is still their coach, but he was a longtime coach there. Reeltown is the home of what great former coach?
No, geez. You put me on the spot, Mike. I'm
Pat Dye.
Pat Dye, okay.
Pat Dye lives in Reeltown. Isn't that right, Mike?
I thought he lived in Nolasogga.
Well, they're right there together.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
I know this. He had a farm in Reeltown for a long time.
Neil claims he's bought a Japanese maple tree for him.
I did. I went up there to his farm.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
That was in Nolasogga.
I'm going to tell you this. I love
Apparently, you'll go up there and you can stay in cabins on his property, and he'll go and have a few drinks with you and tell old Auburn stories.
He probably would. I tell you what, it's hard to go against Reeltown here in this situation. I'm going to take Reeltown. They're 11-1 and very good.
I'm going to take Reeltown.
Who do you like?
I told you, I'm taking G.W. Long.
G.W. Long. So you're politically correct.
I guess so.
Okay, Brantley at Sweetwater. And the only team to beat Sweetwater was who? Pike County.
Yeah.
Now, this guy's down here in, what's the name of that little old place that you're down there in the beach, Mike? Great Beach? He's making all these, answering all these questions. He's down in Great Beach, Florida.
I'm down here with a bunch of yuppies this time of year.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Snowbirds.
Let me ask you this. I've got to eat with you. We're gonna have a pretty good meal.
Well, you know my wife's a great cook.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, boy, you got lucky, man. I tell you, you outkicked your coverage in a big way.
I don't know. She probably outkicked her coverage, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and you really believe that? Yeah, no question. Brantley 11-1 at Sweetwater, and of course, like they were beaten pretty bad by Pike County, but hey, they're moving on to play Brantley, Titletown. Who do you like?
Well, again, it's that home and away deal. I'm taking Sweetwater.
Boy, that is a long ways to go. The Brantley Bulldogs. I'm going to take Brantley and Tucker. I love this name, Tucker Kilcrease.
He's a good one. He's just a freshman.
Yeah, and he is an athlete, they say. And he came.
I'm going to take Brantley.
Okay. All right. These are games that will be played today, and we'll start from the bottom and go up here, guys. I've started wearing glasses, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't see out of either one. And so bear with me a little bit. Okay.
5,000 reading glasses. You can't.
Oh, yeah, these are real glasses. Real glasses.
These are new ones.
But I'm going to see if it. No, I cannot see that without these glasses. Isn't that crazy? Okay.
That happens to all of us.
Well, thank goodness for the dollar store.
Mike took Brantley.
All right, Mike. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that for me. Mike took Brantley, the Mean Green. And now we go to the games that will be here at Veterans Memorial Stadium today, starting at 12 noon. All those schools were in here yesterday to practice and warm up prior to the game. And this is also a reunion for coaches. You know, everybody goes on the fourth floor and they mingle, and a lot of coaches changes.
It's
a lot
awesome
of folks
for Troy.
hiring coaches and all that. You know. But this is big for the independent schools, and like you said, Troy.
Yep.
This
all
is
the
a big
tax
thing
revenue, all the exposure, the recruiting for the college. I mean,
and what I like to say, the teams are here, and most of them will have at least 30 players, and they'll bring their mamas, their daddies, their granddaddies, their grandmamas, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles. They'll bring the whole city. Will come in here watching these, watching what. To these kids today is everything, a state championship.
And I want us to get in on that Super 7 rotation. You know, it's Auburn, Alabama, and then in 2 years, the new stadium in Birmingham is going to be in the rotation for the Super 7. Why can't Troy be in that rotation?
You still make me want to throw up when you mentioned that South Alabama is going to be playing Auburn.
That's correct.
On down the line, and they won't dare play Troy. And Troy would bring 10,000 people at least.
It'll be a huge ticket.
Yeah, in fact.
People, I guarantee they bring more than that.
That's right. They might bring 20,000, no question about it. Okay, let's get started. Southern Academy of Greensboro playing up against Chambers Academy of Lafayette, Alabama. Tommy Garrett's offensive coordinator. I've got to go with the defending state champions, Chambers Academy, to win the game.
Yeah, me too. They're defending, and they're rolling right along. I'll take Chambers.
Okay, Mike, who do you like here?
I'll say Chambers.
Mike Amos calling from the Gulf of Mexico.
He did upset Crenshaw Christian. And I thought they were going to win it all.
And you're exactly right.
17-14 was a close game. That
tells me a lot about this team if they beat Wayne Grant. And of course, again, Chambers is a very strong team. And all of us took Chambers to win the game.
Yeah.
Okay, Scambia Academy out of Atmore, Alabama, or what they call Canoe, Alabama, which is out on the outskirts of Atmore, and coached by one of my dear friends. And Atauga 8-2, Scambia is 9-3, and boy, I'm gonna let you have it, Mike. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Coach Carr has won so many state championships, and it's one of those type things. I would not be shocked if he wins another one, but I'm going to go with you, Felton, just because we like Coach Felton.
Well, and another thing, he's got good football teams every year, and he had beaten this team before.
The Poach Creek Indians, Wind Creek, so they have all the nicest things you could ask for down there.
Well, let me tell you this. My good friend is sitting over here right next to me, Mike, and I know he's going the opposite way, so I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take Atauga.
I'm taking Atauga.
All right, so wait a minute. Mike, who do you took Scambia?
Mike took a Scambia.
I'm going to take Scambia.
Okay, Mike takes the Scambia.
A lot of people say that Pine Liberal Arts is going to be there after the game to sign Carr to a major contract. I don't know.
Well,
that's how rumors get started, right?
And let me tell you this: my friend at Pike Liberal Arts, a dear friend of mine, Coach Allen. Let me tell you, you're number one in my book, and you could coach my kids any day. Okay.
Super guy.
Bessemer Academy of Birmingham going up against Glenwood Academy of Phoenix City. So Birmingham, Mike, you know a lot about Bessemer Academy. Where do their players come from?
Well, I mean, mostly, schools throughout the Birmingham metro area. They get a kid from Elmbrook or a kid from Trustful or Thompson or Vestavia. They get kids from all over the place.
Exactly.
That kind of come in and play there in Bessemer.
In fact, not long ago, a former Alabama star player's son was a quarterback.
Major Ogilvy's son.
Major Ogilvy's son. Yeah, and this is
they got him out of Elmbrook, and then they got the head coach out of Sanford's son as a quarterback a couple years ago as well. So they always recruit well. I'll go Bessemer Academy.
I'm taking Bessemer as well.
Bessemer Academy and Glenwood, and Glenwood big upset.
Gets players out of Columbus and gets players out of Phoenix City.
They sure do. They sure do. No question, especially in baseball and everything. I think it's hard not to go with Bessemer. They were 11-0 or 12-0, and
no, they were only 10-3.
No, excuse me, 10-3. You're right. I can't read my own writing. But
some schools out of Mississippi, I think.
Exactly right. We're gonna take. I'm gonna take Bessemer. We're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back. This show is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. And as we always say, nobody beats a Premier deal. We'll be back.
Big discounts, big selection, and really big deals. It's the big pre-owned sale. Only at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Pre-owned vehicles start at $29.95. Over 50 vehicles under $15,000. $29 down. And you can drive today or take advantage of payments starting at $99 a month. That's $29 down. And payments starting as low as $99. From Montgomery to Dothan. The best pre-owned deal are at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or online at PremierChrysler.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
At Marguerite's, we've been designing and crafting custom jewelry for 4 generations. It's an art for master jewelers. There's really no room for error. It doesn't matter how big the diamond is. You don't expect anything less than perfection. What matters is quality, beauty, and value. After all these decades, your engagement ring is still our greatest pride. Marguerite's exquisite jewelry.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did.
Reasonable though, aren't you?
It should be pretty simple, I would think. Anybody that knows.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram Trucks on the bypass right here in Troy, Alabama. Of course, if you're watching on Facebook, we're around the world, around the country, around the world. You can watch us on Facebook, and you can pick us up pretty much any time during the day. We're coming to you live from our studios on South Brundage Street in Troy, Alabama. Population 20,000 and growing. Yesterday, I was driving down the bypass, and you would have thought that that this was game Saturday already. I mean, I've never seen so much traffic in my life, and they were all driving from I-10 all the way to 231, and which is good. It's good for business, and but I'm sure a lot of folks say, "Oh gosh."
Now I know you know I know you
gotta
know
go
the
through
back
Troy.
roads.
Oh yeah, well I do, but a lot of folks don't. But you know, that's a sign of growth, and you know, 231 is a vital part of our economy, and hey, that's, life goes on.
That's right.
I've had people say, "Whoa, gosh, it's going to take me 15 minutes to drive through Troy."
We'll try to go through Atlanta or Birmingham. My gosh.
Oh yeah, no question about it. Birmingham's crazy. We're picking games, and again, we want to welcome all of you folks from the Alabama Independent Schools, represented again, Bessemer, Glenwood of Phoenix City, Tauga of Prattville, Scambia of Atmore, Southern out of Greensboro, and this is our good friends at Chambers Academy. So welcome to Troy, Alabama.
So
and
anybody
hope you
out
enjoy
there that's
yourself.
going to the Troy, Louisiana Lafayette game tomorrow, that drive is going to be 6 hours and 21 minutes. So good luck to you.
Well, I was planning on going, but something came up, and
It goes through some of your favorite places, Biloxi and Gulfport.
yeah, exactly.
Y'all not taking the bus?
You pass Baton Rouge, and then you go into Lafayette. That's a long ways away.
Yeah, no question about it. Of course, it's going to be a big game for Troy. One of the biggest games that I can remember.
It is big.
Because
I like Troy in 14 points. The way the offense is clicking right now, it's pretty impressive. I don't think Lafayette's going to slow Troy down.
I'll tell you right now, I'll take our quarterback over every quarterback in the conference. I think our quarterback is really good. You're right there on top of it. You're right there on top of it. You know, and you see the timing this guy has, and
he's so decisive,
and the ball just shoots out of his hand.
So decisive too. I mean, he reads the coverage and flings the ball downfield, even if it's one check down or two check downs. It happens in rhythm. He's not open. He's not open. Boom.
And you can see it. You're, of course, Neil is an official, ladies and gentlemen, and he works the Troy games and as a certified official, and he works the sidelines, and you can hear everything. Another thing is this right here, and everybody is doing it now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of those claps do they go on it, but that's the way they do it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the clap is telling the center that I'm through with my checkoffs. We got the play. Snap it whenever you're ready. Because the center is not going to snap it right when he claps it.
But it seems like they'll snap it when you're ready. Now, it's not as bad as it used to be because we always led with our head. You know what I mean? And
well, it's kind of one of those. The offensive coordinator and offensive line coach they're trying so hard to keep the kids from false starting.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they took the vocals out of it. And so now every player on the line of scrimmage, hike is gone. It's now on, hey, you don't go until the center moves the ball.
Isn't that amazing? But see, defensively, if I'm coaching defense, I'm telling the defense not to move until they move the center move the ball.
But
so
you still get
it's
false
the same
starts.
thing, yeah, no question about it. But I thought that was interesting. Really,
It is.
really was.
Yeah.
We'll be talking more about Troy as we move on. Oklahoma State at West Virginia. Mike, Coach won a big one last week, and
Gundy versus Brown.
And Brown won, I reckon, a signature win.
It was. It really was.
For them.
On the road in Manhattan,
sir. Yes, sir. I'll take Oklahoma State.
I'm taking Coach Gundy and Oklahoma State too. They're in second place in their division out there, and to go across the country 2 weeks. Oh no, this one's at home in West Virginia, but the Cowboys are just playing well. I don't see Coach Brown getting 2 huge wins in a row, although I hope he does. I'll take the Cowboys.
Okay.
He's got the best running back in the country. Neal finished 4-8 his first season in Troy, and I think he's going to do the same thing in West Virginia.
It's looking that way.
Are you taking Oklahoma State? Is that right?
Yeah, I like Oklahoma State.
All right, Illinois at Iowa. Now, this Illinois team has shocked a few people already. Iowa is playing very good, especially at home. I'm going to take the Hawkeyes of Iowa.
This next
All right,
one.
remember now, we're giving away Yeti coolers today.
Mike's got the Hawkeyes.
Okay, you take the Hawkeyes.
This next one, who in the world in their right mind could pick South Alabama? They're awful.
I know it, and will our buddies be able to keep their jobs?
I don't know. You think so?
I don't see it with a new stadium going on campus. I mean, the excitement around all that. You sound like you'd bring
and I feel for the Edenfields, that whole crew that went down there.
And another thing too about South Alabama, they're going to go after a big name, I would think.
The crazy thing is, the recruits in that area. I mean, you get all of Mobile, you get Mississippi Junior Colleges, you get the Florida Panhandle. I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't live there.
Mike, I've said it several times. When South Alabama created a football program and decided they wanted to play football, it cut into Troy's recruiting huge because the Pensacola area, the Mobile area, and the Gulfport area, and all that area down there, the kids that weren't good enough to go to Tallahassee, Tuscaloosa, or Auburn were coming to Troy.
Yeah.
Now Troy has to fight South Alabama for the kids.
You're exactly right.
Troy's had great success going into North Alabama in recent years. Neil Brown and his staff really got a lot of good kids out of North Alabama.
Hey, take Caleb Barker out of Decatur.
Yeah, exactly right. That's a long ways up there, no question about it.
I mean, he could have went to...
The running back came out of Scottsboro.
Yeah, he could have went to... Barker could have went to Jack State or North Alabama or West Alabama.
All right, I'll take Georgia State.
Barker, he was such a great athlete, and he tore his knee up.
Yeah, he missed a lot,
Mick Honing's the only reason he came to Troy because he was such a great athlete that Mick Honing and Neil Brown were arguing about where to play him, and Mick Honing said he's such a
wanted
good
to play him at safety.
Play him at safety.
Yep, that's true.
Because he's hard-nosed. He's not afraid. And another thing that's so good about him, he hangs in that pocket, buddy. Now, sometimes he'll wait too late and run out and get run down, but he hangs in that pocket. That's why the pros look. And he's got both feet on the ground.
Yeah, he was the Manning Award for this last week, which was the quarterback of the week in the nation.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take Georgia State.
I wonder if he'll get invited to the Senior Bowl. I don't know. He's going to have the numbers, no doubt.
Mike, is the Georgia State quarterback going to be available? Do you know?
It won't matter.
I think he's questionable. I know he was hurt against Appalachian State.
Okay, I'm taking Georgia State.
Me too.
Okay, Georgia State. UCLA at Southern Cal. This used to be the biggest game out west every year, and it's lost a little bit of its thunder, but UCLA's been playing well, but so has Southern Cal.
UCLA just got him.
Cal big. This is their last game of the season. Clay Helton's trying to keep his job. I think they're going to try to blow out UCLA.
And UCLA coming off just an embarrassing loss to Utah last week. I think they're They got the shoulders shrugged and the heads down. I like Mike's prediction on that, Southern Cal.
Well, let me tell you something about Southern Cal is how can you fire a coach that won 8 games?
Well,
I'll take Southern Cal.
Well, when Urban Meyer is out there politicking to come coach at your school, then that's how you get fired on 8-4.
Yeah.
I mean,
No question.
Mark Richt won 10 games at Georgia and got fired.
Yeah. Texas A&M at Georgia, and Texas A&M is playing pretty good right now. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Don't you dare.
I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Mike Amos.
Yes, sir.
Mike Amos, they're playing in Athens.
I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to take Texas A&M. Georgia is not that good in my book.
Oh, my gracious.
A&M is playing pretty good right now.
Well, I like them with the points, but Georgia's going to win the game at home.
How many points did they give them?
They will not.
13.
They will not make the mistake they made against South Carolina.
All right, we'll see that. But that's my upset. One of my upsets. I'll take A&M. In fact, hey, how about this? Troy's basketball team lost by 4 to A&M.
And we're beating them at halftime.
Yeah, we're beating them, but we're beating them in the second half. Why, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, because A&M had 2 6'9" guys that are big, strong, physical guys. And a lot of players back from the team last year. I was shocked when because I was watching A&M several times last year play Alabama. They beat Alabama twice.
But we had a guy that got hot, though, didn't we? We had a guy to get hot, didn't we?
Well, we had Adams score 20 points to get out of Carver.
How about the big, tall kid? He's playing pretty good, too, isn't he?
Yeah, he got pushed around that game pretty bad by those big physical guys down low.
Yeah.
He didn't do hardly anything.
All right, y'all take Georgia. Is that right, Mike? You take Georgia?
I take Georgia, yeah.
I take Georgia to win, but I think this can be a pretty close game.
Yeah, okay. Georgia Southern at Arkansas State. Troy walloped Georgia Southern. Then they come right back and just blow Monroe out.
Yeah.
And now they're playing at Arkansas State. Yeah, it's something about these Arkansas State teams that can handle. They can handle the option. I'm gonna take Arkansas State.
You are.
Who do you like, Mike?
Well, I mean, Arkansas State's usually pretty physical. Georgia Southern and Arkansas State are already bowl eligible, so they don't have to worry about that. I'll take Arkansas State at home.
Mike Amos takes Arkansas State at home.
Me too.
I'll take them at home. And so does.
That coach has done a great job. He lost his wife, I think, 3 weeks before the season started from breast cancer. Blake Anderson. I tell you what, he's a good coach.
Yeah, he is. No question about it. And a good program. All right, here's a toughie here. SMU at Navy. And, of course, Navy got blown out by Notre Dame, but SMU doesn't have the defense Notre Dame's got.
Is this at Annapolis?
It's playing at Annapolis, a cold Annapolis, too.
Yeah,
now.
I'll take Navy home on that one.
All right, he's going to take the option.
SMU, they're no longer undefeated, and their bubble is burst. And although I'm pulling for Richard McBride to make about 18 solo tackles, I'll take Navy.
But this game will be on TV, too, won't it, Mike?
It's not saying any TV. I'm going to go SMU. Navy just got destroyed by Notre Dame, and I think there's going to be a hangover from that. I think SMU will outscore.
All right, I think that's what's going to happen, a huge scoring deal, and I'm going to take SMU, too. We're going to leave Neil out here.
I'm going to be hanging out there by myself.
Hanging out here by himself.
I mean, Navy is 7-2. SMU's 9-1. I tell you what, that Sonny Dykes has done a great job.
He has. He's got 31 transfers.
Well, let me tell you this, Mike. If SMU wants to pay them, they can pay them. There's a lot of rich folks go to A&M.
That put them on the death penalty and all that paying.
I know, you're right.
Defense coordinator is the great Lash Lee, the Malzahn disciple.
Okay, I got you.
Lash Lee.
Louisiana Tech at UAB. Louisiana Tech at one time under Skip Holtz was one of the highest scoring teams in the country, but they lost their quarterback. Is he back? Do you know?
It's not saying anything on scores and odds of any quarterback being out. I'm going to go La Tech. I don't think UAB is near as good as people make them out to be.
I'm taking UAB at home.
All right, I'm going to take La Tech too. Well, I don't know. Wait a minute. Let me think about this a little bit more.
I mean, Bill Clark and they won 7 games this year. Barely beat Alabama State at the start of the season. It's been a real down year in Conference USA. I'd say the Sun Belt's a lot better in Conference USA this year.
All right, he's lucky though. I'm going to take UAB. He is lucky. And you're going to take Louisiana Tech.
Clark is a guy that that needs to be considered for an SEC job, in my opinion. If anything,
Why is he not in consideration for Arkansas?
How you doing? Yes, please.
I think Mississippi State.
Hand me some glasses over there.
Yeah, they hadn't fired their coach yet, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think he's just going to resign on his own and go back up north somewhere.
Yeah.
Who is that?
The Moorhead at Mississippi State.
Y'all have figured out where Moorhead's going.
And he's still.
And before this season, I didn't even know who, or last season, I didn't even know who Moorhead was. Did y'all?
In Starkville, they call him Moron.
Oh, do they really? Okay, let's keep moving. Michigan at Indiana. And Indiana is good. Thank you so much. Do you want a cup of coffee?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
I can't believe it.
Upset alert happening right here. Michigan playing at Indiana before they play Ohio State. They're 9.5-point favorite. I'll take Indiana in the points, and I think Michigan will win a close one.
You think Michigan will win a close one?
Yeah, Michigan. They could be caught looking ahead right here to next week Ohio State, but I doubt it. They're going to win this game in a close one. You're right.
And they're playing well right now. They've got the same kind of helmets that Sweetwater has. And I love their fight song, too.
Yeah.
Let me know when you want to do the trivia question.
Okay. All right, we'll be doing it right now. First caller, Mike. And go ahead and Yeti Cooler. Scott, come help us. Go ahead.
In 2011, the New York Giants shot the New England Patriots and won the Super Bowl. On the New York Giants roster, they had former Troy University players.
It's heavy, isn't it?
I know who they are.
They had 3 former Troy University players on that Super Bowl team. Name those 3 players.
Man, that's pretty tough, Mike. On the name 3 players that played on the championship team from Troy.
Yeah, when the Giants shot the undefeated Patriots in 2011, there was 3.
You're not eligible.
I'm just writing them down.
There was 3 players on the roster in that Super Bowl game that are Troy University graduates.
Okay, we need somebody to pick up the phone. We'll take the first caller that we see. Somebody call in right now. It's going to be hard to answer this question.
I could ask what positions they play as well, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. That will be tough.
Can't read it. I know you probably can't read my writing.
I see here.
There's actually a picture of this of the 3 guys, after the Super Bowl win together.
Yeah.
So, anybody out there that's a Troy fan should know these 3 guys.
It won't be easy. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. One of them is in the Hall of Fame, and of course, all 3 of these guys are in Troy's Hall of Fame.
One of the guys came to our house recently and actually put on the Super Bowl ring on my finger.
He sure did. And they're all well known.
Now, all y'all been jumping on these Auburn questions 4 or 5 weeks in a row. Here's a Troy question. Come on, somebody jump on this.
What I'm saying, they jump out to most people because there were 3, though. It makes it tough to come up with 3.
That Troy had 3 guys on a Super Bowl winning team.
You're exactly right, for the New York Giants. And we could throw some clues out there, and we'll just wait on somebody to call.
I will say this: all these guys played for Larry Blakeney.
Yeah,
that's true. Yep.
And they were all.
That's what happens when a coach is there for 24 years.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see if we got some people out there now. I know a friend of mine out there that he.
Danny Lee don't want to call because his son won. I know Danny Lee knows the answer to this.
Yeah, we got, but see, we don't know who Danny Lee's gonna be talking to.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, let's move right on.
They'll call in. That's a tough one. Here we go.
Right here. Are you on Today in L.A.? How you doing?
Hey, I'm calling about winning the Yeti.
Here it is.
All right. Now, first of all, though, and of course you will win a Yeti if you can answer this question. There were 3 players that played for the New York Giants that were former Troy players that played in the Super Bowl for the Giants. Can you name those 3?
O.C., Yermanura.
All right, wait a minute. You're right there. Yermanura.
Lawrence Tynes.
Lawrence Tynes, the kicker.
Jarrell Jernigan.
Jarrell Jernigan, you win. You got all three of them right. O.C. Humanure, Lawrence Tynes, and Jarrell Jernigan all played at Troy. Mike, did they in the Super Bowl, and that is really very good, very smart. What's your name, please?
Kathy Stenbridge.
Kathy Stenbridge.
Stembridge.
Kathy, where are you calling from this morning?
In my car headed to work.
Where are you from?
I'm from Troy.
All right.
School of Pike County.
All right. Well, we're so glad.
Kathy, and Kathy, one more time quick. S-T-E-M. B-R-I-E-D-D. I tell you. That's
like a bridge.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a flower stem and a bridge.
Well, all you have to do today is go out to Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Trucks on the bypass today and tell them that you won the contest on Today in L.A., Mike Amos's show, and they're going to give you one of these great Yeti coolers that everybody wants. They're valued at I know they're valued at one store at over $300. So this is one of the top coolers you'll find anywhere.
Oh, absolutely. It's bear-proof.
And as strong as Neil is, he has trouble moving this thing around. It's heavy, but that means it's not going to fall off your boat. It's not going to fall off your boat.
I got tennis elbow. I had the wrong arm.
Well, Kathy, this should excite you, and and of course, for you to be able to come up with the winning question is quite good, and we appreciate you very much. And have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, thank you. You too.
Thank you, Mike. We gave it away, but of course that was a pretty tough question. But O.C. Humanure, the Italian, he was a prince, wasn't he?
He was a prince from Nigeria.
He was a prince from Nigeria. I remember when he came to Troy, and Larry Blakeney told me out of Auburn High School, he said, "I think I got a sleeper."
Yeah.
And he had a sleeper, all right.
He sure did.
He was only 16 years old when he came to Troy.
Only 16. And something we talked about the other day, and you've got to remember this, Neil. We lost a game because he celebrated a big sack. You remember that?
Yes, Utah State.
We were playing Utah State in the Mud Bowl. It was back when they were working on the stadium.
Grass.
And he made a huge tackle that would have won the game, and he goes out and jumps up and down, and they throw a flag. They've done away with that. Most of that now.
You can celebrate sacks now.
Yeah, you can celebrate, but they couldn't like that, and we lost the ball game because of it. You remember that?
Vaguely something. Yeah.
And then Jarrell Jernigan, of course, was a star wide receiver at Troy. Mr. Do It. I guess he could do it all, kind of like David Palmer.
He was from Eufaula.
Yeah, and I remember him as a high school player. Of course, when we did all the games for all those years, you could not tackle him in open field. If he ever got an open field,
it was like Kincaid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and he could juke even more than Kincaid.
Yeah.
But
he was like Damian Craig.
Yeah, he was, and you just could not tackle him. And then when he came to Troy, they moved him to wide receiver. Now he would in the offenses they're running now. He'd be a great quarterback. Wouldn't you hate to have
that read option?
That read option and being able to throw the ball.
Yeah, and I get to talk to Jarrell. You know, he's coaching at Eufaula now.
Yeah, that's right.
And
under Coach Rigby.
A couple of times this year, he has escorted some recruits from Eufaula, and so I've been able to talk to Jarrell on the sidelines 2 or 3 times this year. It's always good to catch up with him. He's such a nice guy.
Really is, and of course,
and he remembers my name.
Yeah,
a lot of those older players that are on the sidelines, Brandon Silvers and Jarrell Jernigan both always remember my name.
And I'll tell you this:
Lawrence Tynes, Dad thinks was not a great kicker at Troy. He felt like he was a better kicker when he went to the pros.
Yeah, I think so too. He had a hard time as a college kicker getting the ball up. Getting it up in a hurry. If you don't get it up in a hurry, they're gonna block it.
He broke a lot of fans' hearts. You know, he's the guy that in that championship in 2011, he made a kick at Green Bay to beat Brett Favre, a 47-yarder, and I think it was like 10 degrees.
Yeah, it was real cold. Real cold.
One of the longest kicks ever. in cold weather, is what they said.
Now, Mike, there was another guy that came from Troy that was the that punted for Troy. Punted for.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't on that team. His name was Matt Allen. Matt Allen out of Montgomery.
Yeah, Matt Allen out of Montgomery, and he's the one that was a holder for the field goal, and it was a botched field goal attempt.
Yeah.
The ball got away from him, and he picked it up and tried to throw it for the extra point. And,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was against San Francisco in a playoff game.
and they still talk about that. But he was a great athlete.
So who won the cooler?
Well, if I had to pronounce her name.
Her name is Kathy Stembridge from Troy.
Yes, Stembridge, and again, congratulations to her.
We're coming up with some weird names winning these coolers.
I know it. Hey, you're
Well, I'm
right.
gonna tell you, it wasn't Kathy's because she was driving a car. Her husband called her.
Hey, we need to check it. We need to tell them to check the driver's license.
I never heard of a stem bridge from Troy.
I hadn't either. Well, she said she went to Pike County High, so she may be from Brunswick.
Hey, you know what? Danny might be rolling. Danny might be rolling over in his desk this morning.
Yeah.
I think we got some guys in the back calling with some anonymous names.
Well, you know, we're not going to verify everything so distinctly, but we do want you to be honest. Okay, Pitt at Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech has really improved, Mike. Who is their coach?
Justin Fuentes that left Memphis.
Well, he's done a great job, and they're bowl ready and playing up against Pitt, but they're playing at Virginia Tech. Tech at home is as good as anybody. I'll take Virginia Tech.
I'll take the Turkeys as well, but Pittsburgh's got some dudes on their defensive line now. I'm telling you, watch out for them.
7 games.
Yeah, I mean but I'm just going to go with the home team here. I think the experts out in Vegas have Virginia Tech favored by 1 or 2 or 3 maybe.
I wish I had my gobbler today, and we're going to give away turkeys during Christmas, and I need my gobbler here. Okay.
I'll take Virginia Tech.
All right, Virginia Tech. Texas at Baylor, and let me tell you, I think Baylor runs into a problem here. I think Texas is going to win the football game. They need it real bad here, Mike.
I think Baylor rebounds.
All right.
Texas has been a huge disappointment this year. I know they've had a lot of injuries, but
his stock is not near what it was at the beginning of the year.
His stock is definitely going down. You know, when they beat Georgia in the bowl game last year, of course Georgia didn't play. Like I guess people thought they were going to play in that game. I thought Texas was going to be really good this year, but I'll take Baylor. I think Baylor's still got more talent.
Okay.
I like Baylor too.
I tell you, I like that when in that game Saturday. Boy, what a great environment that was! Brand new stadium, bunch of Baptist kids. You know, that's a Baptist school, and buddy, they took it, and of course.
I never knew they had a tradition. They let all the freshman students run onto the field before the game. That's kind of cool.
Troy does that.
Yeah, and let me just say this too. Only Hurt could have brought them back, and Oklahoma came back, won it, and Hurt might have won it.
Jalen threw a horrible interception and fumbled twice, though. He didn't play very good.
Yeah, but when it counted, he played good, and he is tough.
He got his act together in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I still don't know how Lamb literally was dressed out and didn't play. I don't know what the medical condition.
Now that right there,
A game time decision, maybe.
Lamb might be the best wide receiver in the country, and that includes Alabama's receivers.
He's right up there with the Alabama guys.
He's there with them.
And just think, he didn't play, and they still won the game. I'll tell you something about Hurt.
Yep.
I've been hurt. Yes, I've been hurt. And that's what happened to Baylor.
It's interesting. It started at 3.5, has gone to 5.5 in Vegas, so it's going up.
Who, Baylor?
Yeah, with Baylor.
They got a quarterback named Brewer that's a good player. Purdue at Wisconsin.
I'll take the Badgers.
And
they're still trying to get in that
They
championship
sure
game.
Well, Jeff Brom could have gone to Louisville. Look what Satterfield's done at Louisville compared to what Brom's doing at Purdue. That was a horrible mistake.
But I tell you, exactly. No question about it. Penn State, this is the big game of the weekend. Here's one that should be a tough one. Penn State at Ohio State. if anybody's going to beat Ohio State, it's either going to be Penn State this week or Michigan next week.
But I tell you what, the last thing in the world that Penn State needed was for the media to start putting out articles that James Franklin was interested in the Florida State job.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
So that's the last thing. That's the last thing Penn State needed in this rivalry week. I'll take Ohio State.
I'll take Ohio State because they're better than Penn State, in my book.
Ohio State's an 18-point favorite.
But now that quarterback is pretty good for Penn State.
A lot of people think Penn State will be under that number. I don't know, man. Ohio State blows out everybody.
All right. Okay, that's what we'll take. We'll take Ohio State, and they are good, no question about it. But Michigan's coming up next week.
Next week.
Boy,
yep.
That's going to be a good one. All right, let's take a short break. We'll be right back with more of Today in L.A. and Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram Trucks Picks of the Week on Troy Cable.
Discounts, big selection, and really big deals. It's the big pre-owned sale. Only at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Pre-owned vehicles start at $29.95. Over 50 vehicles under $15,000. $29 down. And you can drive today or take advantage of payments starting at $99 a month. That's $29 down. And payments starting as low as $99. From Montgomery to Dothan. The best pre-owned deal are at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or online at PremierChrysler.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Know-how, Napa Know-how. At Marguerite's, we've been designing and crafting custom jewelry for 4 generations. It's an art for master jewelers. There's really no room for error. It doesn't matter how big the diamond is. You don't expect anything less than perfection. What matters is quality, beauty, and value. After all these decades, your engagement ring is still our greatest pride. Marguerite's exquisite jewelry.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Amos, Neil Armstrong, and Mike Amos calling in from Great Beach, Florida. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. A lot of folks.
We're not down here at the beach. If anybody wants to come to the beach, it's going to be in the 70s.
Well, you know, you take the Troy University student. They leave today, and they won't come back until the next Monday week. They'll go through 2 Thanksgivings because a lot of people will, when they've got families that are divided, they got to go one way or the other. There'll be Thanksgiving dinners this weekend, and maybe on Sunday, Monday, Saturday, or Sunday, and then Thanksgiving coming up the following week.
Yeah.
So they'll be out for Thanksgiving then, and then we got the big football game on Friday.
That's right.
With
Friday night.
Appalachian State. So we've got a lot going on. This is a huge game for Troy, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Syracuse at Louisville.
I saw that guy yesterday down here, and he said he couldn't wait to have some stuffing and pecan pie.
Pecan pie. Now, let me tell you, you can tell that's
He called it stuffing.
Yeah, and you know what? You can tell the difference in a Southern and a Yankee when they call it pecan pie.
And stuffing instead of dressing.
But I am a pecan guru, I promise you. Okay, Syracuse at Louisville. And something scary about this one, Michael. Syracuse blew out a team last week. Louisville has lost.
Duke.
Louisville has had a pretty good year. Who do you like here?
I'll take Louisville.
Yeah, me too.
Louisville, Syracuse at Louisville. I'm going up. Here's another upset.
Just what Mike was saying.
I'm taking Syracuse.
I'll take Satterfield. He's building something special at Louisville. I think he's a great coach.
Yeah, he is, no question about it. And he left a good program at Appalachian State.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, Mike, who did you take?
I take Louisville.
All right, you took Louisville, and so did Neil. Okay, Illinois, Memphis at South Florida. I just threw that in there. I'll take Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis big.
And Mike take Memphis.
I'll take Memphis.
Well, Memphis can score. California at Stanford. Now, you don't know what California team. I know they're hard to figure.
My gut's telling me that the Cal defense is going to play great again. But I looked on my telephone, and Vegas has got Stanford favored. I don't know why. I'll take Stanford, their favorite, because I don't know enough about this game.
Well, this is Yuppieville, USA. Stanford, one of the wealthiest schools in the nation, and that Palo Alto. You go out there. That's where the great golf course is and all that. And they got a lot on their mind other than football. I'll tell you. But I'm gonna take Stanford to win the game.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
I'll take Stanford, but I've lost on them all year. I don't know who they can ever beat.
Yeah.
I guess one of their quarterbacks is back.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. That's Neil. Who do you like here?
I took Stanford merely because Vegas.
Cal at one time was ranked 14th in the country, and they lost their starting quarterback, and they haven't been the same since.
Right.
All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I got in trouble yesterday putting this game in here. Arkansas at LSU.
Without a coach.
And, it wouldn't have been a great year for Troy to have played Arkansas.
Yeah, it would have been.
Great year for everybody to play Arkansas.
Yeah.
They got beat by Western Kentucky, and they got beat by San Jose State.
LSU, a lot of people think that they'll sit their team down at the half, and get so they won't get hurt, getting ready for the conference championship.
I don't know if they'll cover the 44, but they could if they wanted to.
I'll take LSU to win, of course. Everybody's going to do that. Is that right?
I'll take LSU.
And, all right, Kansas State at Texas Tech. Now, this one right here is sort of tough. Texas Tech's been playing well at home against Kansas State, and you don't know what's going to happen with Kansas State. I know Wiley's...
they beat Oklahoma, lose to West Virginia.
Wiley's nephew is the starting right guard.
Tyler Mitchell.
Tyler Mitchell for...
And they lost another heartbreaking game to Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, who do you like here, Mike?
I'm going to take Texas Tech.
Yeah, me too.
I am too. They say you got to want to go to Lubbock.
I'm taking Kansas State. They play one. They go off and on. They played bad last weekend. They'll play good this weekend.
Okay, all right. Mike took Texas Tech. All right, we're moving right along. Temple at Cincinnati. And this is the one that we were talking about earlier. Cincinnati's only lost one game.
Yeah, I'm taking Cincinnati here. Although Temple, you don't know.
You're right.
You can't predict Temple this year.
If they were playing at home, I would take Temple in this game.
I'm taking the Bearcats.
I'm taking the Bearcats.
Cincinnati, they're only lost to Ohio State.
Isn't that something? That's having a great year. All right, Samford, the Bulldogs playing at Auburn. Should be a jam-packed, 65,000
tailgate.
How many people you think of?
It'll be a big tailgate.
Yeah.
Nobody goes in the stadium.
And of course, not tearing up Samford, but 1AA against Auburn coming off a loss.
Yeah.
Everybody takes Auburn.
Yeah, this will be the game that everybody sits under the tents and partakes in the alcoholic beverages
and
watches the other games on television.
And I'm telling you what.
I think they'll finally get to see the debut of Cord Sandberg. I think he'll come in and play a lot.
Yeah, and of course he's the
Ryan Sandberg's
He's the nephew of Ryan. Is it his son?
Son, yeah.
Ryan Sandberg's son, the Hall of Famer, and that is something, no question about it. And he was a great athlete. He's about 26, 27 years old.
And he went and played professional baseball.
Yeah,
He's a guy that wears a very unusual number at quarterback. He's number 24. I've never seen that.
That is weird.
I haven't either. That would be a great trivia question. I was thinking of some.
Who's the great college player that wore number 22?
Johnny Musso.
No, Flutie.
Flutie.
Doug Flutie.
That's right.
Yeah, Johnny Musso also wore 32.
Shea Patterson.
22.
Shea Patterson.
Patterson wore that
I was trying to think, what number was it? I'm not sure.
Well,
I just knew it was a weird number.
Let me make the old Codgers coach down in Luverne and all that. Who wore number 77?
At quarterback?
No, he wore he was running back. He wore number 77.
I know, but we're talking about quarterback.
Okay.
Carl Mecklenburg for the Denver Broncos. That's my 77.
Barry Krause was 77 in Alabama.
Yeah. Well, of course, they had a running back from Ozark. Do you know his number?
Yeah, Wilbur Jackson wore 80.
Well, Wilbur Jackson wore number 80. He played tailback.
I don't remember.
Yeah. No question about it. Red Grain was number 77. Harold Red Grain. And that'll make all you older Codgers.
What number did Bobby Marlowe wear at Alabama?
Marlowe wore 32. He wore number 32. Okay.
6 minutes left. Who we got left?
Western Carolina at Alabama. Oh, boy. Get ready for the kickoff. Western Carolina is coming to town. They're going to be pretty, but that's going to be about it.
Big name, the Catamounts.
Catamounts.
And the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Big Al's going to be there. I don't know how many of you are going to be there.
Saban said they run that option. They run that option.
That's right. And let me tell you this. That was get ready, though, to go and have a festive tailgate.
That's right.
And nobody can do the
Senior day in Tuscaloosa, the senior classes.
senior class day. Well, that's great.
64 and 5.
64 and 5. That's pretty good senior class.
That's pretty good
64
senior
and
class,
5.
64 and 5.
And, of course, you know, those are both 11 o'clock kickoffs, both Auburn and Alabama. 11 o'clock kickoffs. Now, that's pretty early.
It is pretty early.
If you're in the West, if you're in Los Angeles, it's 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. What is it? 9
It'd be
o'clock.
9 o'clock, yeah.
Okay, everybody takes Alabama. All right, here's the one we want to keep up with. This is a huge game. Well, first of all, let's go. We'll take this last real quick. Boston College at Notre Dame. Everybody takes Notre Dame.
Touchdown, Jesus.
Okay. He's not being sacrilegious now. It's the Touchdown Jesus Monument out there. University of Central Florida at Tulane. That's going to be a pretty good one. I'm picking Tulane to upset them.
Oh, I'll take UCF.
I'm taking Tulane to upset them. All right, and Minnesota at Northwestern.
Minnesota.
I'm taking Minnesota. Mike,
he took UCF.
You took UCF.
Notre Dame.
No, wait a minute, I got them wrong. Let me check off here. This is his right here. He checked UCF.
We picked some awful games this week.
I know it. We couldn't help it though. That was the way it was. All right, you took UCF? Is that right?
Yeah.
And I'm taking Tulane to upset them. All right, Boston College, Notre Dame, Northwestern, Minnesota. Now the big one is Troy and Louisiana Lafayette, or Louisiana. I don't know which way they'll want you to pronounce it.
I don't know either.
But it's going to be a huge game for Troy.
We'll just say the Raging
If they
Cajuns.
win, they get they at least win, become bowl eligible. It's a huge game. Troy's been down, but they're playing very good right now. I'm taking Troy to win this game. I'm going to take Troy 47. Louisiana
Raging
Lafayette
Cajuns.
35. 47-35. Troy beats Louisiana Lafayette. And Mike, where can you watch this on TV?
It's going to be on ESPN Plus at 4 o'clock. Hoping I can find it somewhere in Biloxi. I'm going to Biloxi tomorrow.
Where can I find it at the beach? Do you know?
You going to do some gambling?
No, I'm just going to go watch some games, probably somewhere down there.
All right, who do you like here?
Well,
I said yesterday, I feel like that Troy is playing their best football as well, and I've been listening to a lot of comments. You know, Caleb Barker said that, you know, we're finally playing the way we're supposed to be playing. This season's been a disappointment. I mean, he's fired up. A lot of the defensive guys made really good comments as well, that they're trying to, you know, get these guys to a bowl game. But I just feel like defensively, I just don't think Troy will have enough. I think it'll be a shootout. I think Lafayette will win 49-45, but I think Troy will definitely cover that 14 points.
49-35.
49-45.
45. Whoa, what a game.
What a
All right,
game.
Neil, quickly.
look, Troy, I'm pulling for Troy. I want Troy to win, and Troy chose. If this pick sheet was named who do you want to win, I'd circle Troy, but it's not. It's pick the winner. So I think Louisiana is better than Troy this year. Troy is clicking on all cylinders. I like Mike's prediction on the high score. I'll take Louisiana to squeak it out.
All right,
40 to 37.
I'm taking Troy 47-35.
8-2. 8-2 is a pretty impressive record. I mean, if they were like 6-4, I'd take Troy to Arkansas.
What's the over/under real quick? What would be the over/under on this game? It's going to go way over. This game's going way over, don't you think?
I mean, the line's at 14. I'd have to find over/under.
Yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed our show, and of course, we're going to be back to you sometime next week as we get ready for the Thanksgiving holidays, and hope everybody's excited about the weekend. It's a huge Troy game. I've got Troy beating Louisiana in a big game.
I'm hoping for it.
47-35.
Go
Hope
Trojans.
you have a great week. We'll see you Monday morning, bright and early for Today in L.A.